Hello, darlings. Welcome to Skits and Quibbles. Before we announce our first act, I thought I will tell you about my mum's requirements. Do you know, when I got into my 20s, my mum had these very high expectations of me. She wanted me to marry very well. He had to be from a good family, with a very good name that pronounced and kind of fitted with my name very well. He had to be healthy, good teeth, good smile, good posture, good genes, good skin, good manners, considerate, kind. And so the list, I mean, I'm reading from here. Good reproductory organs, good taste in clothes. As I grew older, 30, the list got shorter. Yay! I know. Every decade, the list got shorter and shorter and shorter. Do you know, today, there is one item on that list. You guessed it. And that is that he can eat solid foods. So, our first performer tonight is Darren Griffiths! Yay!
Hello, I'm Griff. What's going on, everybody? Let's get into it. To start off with, this is the strangest gig that I've ever done in my life. If everybody wants to know, I'm in the studio apparently. I've had a really strange journey to get down here. I'm from the Midlands. Like, you can find us attached to the M1. We've got 1.5 cathedrals, 1 working police station. We've just got the ground back off the bailiffs. You know, Coventry. But this, where I am right about now, is really strange. And I've done some strange gigs. I was in Cornwall last week and I nearly got seduced by 3 witches. And then on my way back, I got lost in Herefordshire. So I found a gig and they thought it was Idris Elba. So then we ended it off in Leicestershire and they thought it was Amazon delivering. But this is the first time I've done a gig where it feels like I might not go home. I'm actually recording my last ever recording. So, Mum, I promised I'd get to the Apollo. They did say I was going to the Apollo, but they did say it was a TV network or anything. So whatever, that's the reason why I'm here, because apparently I'm in some place called Bedfordshire. It's in Buckinghamshire. I feel like I'm in no man's land. And last week I was in Newton Abbot, and Newton Abbot don't know about Newton Abbot, mate, because that was like purgatory. But this does feel like has got a little bit of a feel for like Saw. Did you know what happened last summer? And has anybody seen Griff? But yeah, I'm Griff. I'm from Coventry. I've got a few problems. I keep making snap decisions, like taking gigs in strange warehouses and things like that. But I made a snap decision the other day, and I decided to end a career that I've had for the last 20 years. And I've played in every league in my career. I've played from non-league to the Champions League, and now I essentially cook in a canteen part-time. And if you haven't guessed, I used to be a chef, and everyone's been out of pay for food and everything, and when you go out of pay for food, you expect that you're going to be served by this Premiership catering staff, and the reality of it is, most kitchens are like the Man United starting 11, mate. There's always someone on the injured list. And there's always someone like that Roy Keane or Alan Shearer, and they all want to be that messy. And the reality of it is, they're more like that Darren Anderson from the 90s. They used to call him Sick Note, or you call him the human tampon. He was in for a week and out for 3. That's a new one, so we put that in there because we don't know what's going on. We're feeling a little bit wary. But yeah, the other problem is, I'm from like, dating's a bit weird. it's a bit hard now. Like, I'm from the era where you used to go out hunting on a Friday night and you'd find your prey sitting around a bar or a watering hole and you just hit them over the head and then you'd hash it out on a Saturday morning. But now it's all different. Now there's job titles, recruitment processes, and all these shift changes and all sorts, mate. You've got friends with benefits, fuck buddies, situationship. Could someone explain that to me? Because it's essentially a 0-hour contract, isn't it, really? It's a bit hard, really. Like, I don't understand it. Like I said, I'm from that era where like you talk to people. You go, but now everything's like got to go through MI5, and it feels like women are trying to recruit for the next Ocean's 13 or something. It's just a bit weird, you know. It's just a bit strange. And like, I got lucky just after lockdown, ladies and gents. I got that contract that everybody's looking for, but it lasted 11 and a half months because WhatsApp fucked that up for me with two blue ticks. Finished my contract, mate, like, escorted off site and everything. I didn't even get a verbal warning, mate. Not a written, not verbal, mate, just gone, mate. Escorted off site by a mother. Facebook and everybody, mate, outed me. Because apparently this message means I broke it down, could pick me up. Because I fell back to sleep when she sent this, when it's delivered to me, mate. There's a crying face, there's a broken heart, there's this, and there's a car. And that means I broke it down, could pick me up. Yeah, like, I don't know what that is, but I woke up to somebody standing over me crying and all sorts, but that's another story. That's another story. But this is all right. I've got my name on lights and everything, and everything that's never happened before. Like, I have been to a few gigs and I did feel like I was going to get auctioned off, but this feels like I'm fighting for my survival.
20 quid.
20 quid. Oh, there we go. But I'm going to end on this because I'm hoping I'm doing all right. But yeah, I'm from that era, like a strange era where your parents used to like talk to you and release us like Spartan warriors. Not like now though, where they just release us to that Call of Duty map that they call the play area, and everything. Like we were just free, like free range cattle. But yeah, my mum used to chat, like live by 3 things. She's like, you were made in His image, and apparently black don't crack. I've suffered from eczema since birth, ladies and gents. And then the next one is, apparently once you go black, you never go back. Well, my daughter's mum's now got a ginger baby, so that's put me on the fence. And the next one, and I think this is quite fitting for this situation I'm in right about now, like she used to compare me to Usain Bolt. You've seen him, he's tall, dark, athletic. He's got that third leg that should be registered as a weapon. I'm 2 inches at best, ladies and gents, and I'll be lucky if I could penetrate cling film, but I'll outrun anyone that's trying to hook me or use me as a meat raffle or anything at this weird gig that I've just decided to take. You've been lovely. This is strange. It's lovely. Yeah, I'm Griff the comedian. Thanks for sharing.
Well, that was a lovely set. Thank you so much for coming
so.
and sharing your wonderful talent. Now, how long have you been on the comedy circuit?
About 6 years now.
Wow. What got you into comedy?
That was my daughter. She annoyed me one day. And
I'm loving it.
and you know, we reached that point where, like, you could commit a criminal offence. And you try not to make a snap decision. And the snap decision was just go and vent at somebody else. And I just vented at a pub for about an hour, and bless them, they listened to me, and they laughed. And then I did it again a week later, and somebody said, you know, you're all right at this. And I thought, yeah, but you got to be in that mood. And she hasn't annoyed me for a couple of weeks now, so I'm feeling a bit normal.
Loving it.
Yeah, that's how I basically started.
And what are your highlights on the comedy circuit? Because I remember, you know, first time I booked you, there are 2 comedians. They have 1 letter difference in their name. There was Darren Griffiths and there's Darren Griffiths.
Yeah.
And I actually realized that a lot of people on the comedy circuit book you and then expect the other one to turn up and stuff.
Yeah.
So that happens. It does happen.
Yeah, it does happen. Yeah.
It doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
Because my surname is quite different. But tell us about that. So, you know, because there's humour in that, right?
It's weird because, like, my last name is Griffiths and everything. And, like, Darren isn't actually my real name, but that's the name that I use. But I'm not changing it because that's what it is.
Name. Mm-hmm.
But, you know, when you find, I didn't even realise because British comedy circuit's different. It's not just one big circuit. It's made up of loads of different little circuits.
Yes.
So I didn't know he existed because I'm up here, like, and he's down south. And then I seen his name as I started going up the ranks through the comedy circuit. And everything like that. He goes, there's someone else called Darren Griffiths. I'm like, that can't be me. But the name's just random, bro. I haven't chosen this name, like, it's random. And then I realised, and I seen it, and I went, right, okay, you can have to change your name, change that thing. But I've changed that name, and it's been that name for so long. I'm not changing it now. That's who I am. Do you know what I mean? You've got to stay in character. I'm not changing it. So I changed the spelling, and they still get it wrong.
They still get it wrong.
I've changed the spelling. Like, it doesn't even sound like Darren. It's Darron. Like it's French. No, I'm from Coventry. We're not that posh, mate. And it's weird, and it annoys me because I got a booking not long ago, and so I applied for a gig. So he doesn't have to apply for gigs. He's on a different level. So that's the first. That's your first mistake. Right? He doesn't apply for gigs, mate. He's got an agent for that. Right?
Yeah.
There's different levels. Yeah. Different levels. So that's strike one, mate. Right? So strike two is they've got this thing, and it makes no sense, yeah? Well, I want to see your video. Right, okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right, okay.
Always, whenever you apply for a
I
spot,
want
you
to see your
have
video.
to.
Right.
Yes.
Comedy's in the moment, mate. A lot of times, comedy's in the moment, right? And let's be honest. Most promoters get, on average, 25 plus emails about gigs.
Yeah.
There ain't enough hours in the day. Yeah. For you to watch all them videos, mate. So we all know you're not even watching them, right? So you've got to watch something, yeah? It's 2024, mate. We don't look the same. We don't talk the same. And the name's not spelt the same. So I'm not accepting anymore we've booked the one Darren Griffiths. That's on you, mate.
Now, darlings, you know, often dance coaches, there is a difference between a dance teacher, dance coach. Dance teacher teaches you steps. Dance coach teaches you how to live, how to dance through this freestyle choreography called life. Please welcome to the set my first ever English dance teacher, coach, friend, inspiration, my queen, Gillian Cook. What is it like having a lot of young people come to you for all kinds of things, for advice, and you're their inspiration, you're their mother, you're their sister, you're everything there to them, because that's exactly what you were to me.
Yeah.
You know, I just left my family, came to this country, didn't even speak English, you know. I mean, I was like literally, and it helped that you were moving really well, you know, because I could read your body language and stuff. But what is it like having that responsibility to take care of youngsters or a group of people who may in some way be vulnerable away from their support network and stuff? How does that feel, and how do you, because you did it beautifully.
Actually, it started when I was a child. I was painfully shy as a child. So as I got older and went through school, it was always a class, and there was always an odd number of girls. Yes. And I hated people being feeling unhappy or feeling unloved, because I was loved. And my best friend. So every time we had an event or had to do something, there was always 3 girls over. Myself, my friend, and another. Well, it wasn't 3. So I always used to look at this girl and think, okay, you don't want to be by yourself. You take my best friend, I'll be by myself, I'll do it by myself. So I've always looked after people from basically the age of about 5. So I've always wanted other people to be secure. I'd never wanted anybody to get hurt. I don't want people hurting. Sometimes I want to kill them, but but I didn't want anybody to hurt. I'm quite happy to hurt. But when I came to know you, it was just natural. And I used to look at people and just thinking, I can see the best in you. I can see what you're wanting. And I would just go, okay, let's see what we can do. Or if I couldn't see anything at all, I thought, well, there has to be something there. Well, not you. I taught you how to swear.
I did, and that's right.
I taught you as well.
I still use those words. Yes.
So no, I just look at somebody and just say, what do they want? And sometimes they say, and let's see how we can get them to do it, and be the best of them, because we're all beautiful. I mean, I was brought up to my uncle always used to say to me, "You're fucking gorgeous, girl. You're fucking gorgeous." I mean, I wasn't. I was the ugliest. I was the ugly duckling in the family, but he made me feel so good. So I had that all the way through. And when I see somebody, I will just go to, "You're fucking gorgeous, girl." I will do that. And I actually believe that. My uncle did it to build up confidence. But I actually believe everybody is absolutely fucking gorgeous. And I do apologise for the language. But I'm not going to really. But but that was it. So when I saw, and the thing is when I met you, I was only a little older. I'm just a little bit older than you. I've already had the experience.
Yes, I actually realised that. So even though we saw you as a full adult.
Because I'd already competed, and I was competing abroad, and I was living abroad. I lived abroad, so I understood people with English not being their first language, because I was the person who didn't have the first language. I went and lived in countries where I just went out and just knew the answer to yes and no, which got me into some really interesting conversations. And it was fun. It was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
But one of the things I remember about you, I mean, first, this is a quarter finalist in the major world international competitions, so you naturally have that, like, towards a person. But also you did everything so playfully, even the tough stuff. I don't remember it being so tough because you made it as a game.
Yes, because the thing is I don't believe in boredom. And I'm also one of the laziest people going.
I love that.
I am so lazy. I work hard, but I'm so lazy. So if I have the choice of saying, you've got to do it this way and it's going to take you 2 hours, or it's going to do it this way and it's going to take you 2 seconds, I'll take the 2 seconds. Because by that time you do it and I'm on to something else. So my brain is, I have a wonderful gift. Apart from dancing, I have dyslexia, which I absolutely love, which makes it easy. So when I see a problem, I don't go 1, 2, 3. I just see the problem and then I just go, right, how can I get there quickly? Because if I do it the slow way, I get bored.
Yes.
So I just go, right, okay, this is the problem. This is where I want to go. Do I do this or do I do that? And sometimes going around the houses or going down a different avenue will get me to the position or wherever I want you to get to, or wherever I want you to get to first. But dyslexia is an amazing gift.
Yes, I agree with that, actually.
I do.
That I don't see them as, I don't like when people call different ability disabilities. It's like, no, don't program me. No. It just means that for you in particular, that could be your winning strategy in something. So it is a gift. I like that. Thank you.
Always see outside the box. Always see the different way.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, what you traveled the world. What would be your favorite culture? Kind of, what would be your favorite dance? So, if I was to ask you, like, give me a geography where your favorite dance comes from, and then also culturally, does that align as well?
Actually, if you go to the culture that I love most is the one that I haven't been to yet.
Oh, which one?
I don't know. There's quite a lot of cultures. I haven't been to Eastern Europe yet. Wow. I only went to East Germany, but that's as far. And I have actually been to the Ukraine. But they're the only 2 Eastern European countries I've been to. I haven't been to Australasia, so I haven't been to Australia, so New Zealand. So it'd be interesting to see that. I haven't been to the South Sea Islands, so I'd like to see that. I haven't been to South America. So those cultures I would be interested in. Because I've not experienced them. So so the answer to that one was the one I haven't been to yet. Wow. And that's really it. As to the dancing, where music's concerned and dancing and movement, that always depends on my mood.
So, I like that.
Yes, and it's being a competitor, I actually did 10 dances. So it depending on what type of mood I was in would depend if I was in a bad mood. then I would take it out on the dance, not on my dancing partner or anybody around me, but I'd take it out on in the dance. Yes. So the floor got quite a lot of a battering.
Loving
yeah,
it.
so if I was in a bad mood, that did. But I never took it out on my partners. They were actually quite happy, but it moved the energies in my body. So it's about moving energies, and if you're and dancing is, I mean, it's like all music. It gives an emotion, and you just got to get that emotion out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, better, like Shrek, you know.
Yeah.
Better out than in.
Oh, definitely. I've
Yes,
always said that
yes.
from a kid. Always better out than in.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So tell me, you know, would you mind to show me some like movement to get the emotion out? So say when you're angry, what would be the movement you'd do? I mean, you don't have to stand up, just like do it. Loving it. I felt that air. Okay, right. And when you are curious, give me the curious emotion.
So a curious emotion. That would be
What would be the dance move for that?
The dance move for that would actually be something along.
Love that shoulder. Oh, yes, like
Because you
yes.
don't know what the question is.
Yeah. So yeah. You've got to and it's quite kind of around the heart as well. That
It is.
movement. So you're kind of like searching there in that kind of chakra. Now, who was your favourite student apart from me?
Who was your?
Apart from me and Dr. Audrey Tan.
Who was my? Oh, I have so many.
And why?
And why? Who was my favourite? Actually, I would say it was Freddie.
I was thinking, yes, Freddie, we love you, we miss you wherever you are.
We do, mainly because Freddie was absolutely massive, and when I knew him, I was incredibly tiny. He was just full of energy, and I had a lot of power. I was really powerful when I first met you, and I had to work really hard to keep up with Freddie.
Oh yes, we all did.
Yeah.
I think 10 of us and Freddie, and we were just about equal.
Yeah,
yes.
but I never wanted him to beat me. So, but it was like, I always felt that I had to make sure I had to finish second.
I wanted to actually explore a little bit more of your competitive spirit, because you kind of hinted on that with Freddie, you know, and you were like, you didn't want him to beat. So how do you deal with when you're competitive as a person, and then yet you are as a member of the team, so it's a partnership? Right. And what would you say is the best advice to kind of handle that competitiveness, because it's still beneficial. It actually it drives you.
Well, the thing is, when you're in a partnership, the best thing to do is actually try to understand them, where they want, and whether you're wanting the same things. Because if you're not wanting the same things, then you might as well finish. It doesn't work. You have to respect. I mean, I had a dancing partner that we were very, very successful, and we actually couldn't stand sight of each other after day 3. And we were together a long time, and we were very successful. And people used to turn around and say to us, "Why do you have a relationship?" No. What is your relationship? And I turned around and said, we hate the sight of each other. We can't stand it, each other. But we had mutual respect. And because we had I respected him as a male dancer, and he respected me, then it worked. And then as we got together, we then started, we decided that we weren't going to compete against everybody else in the room. We were going to compete against each other.
Oh.
So then what happens is that if he was getting higher, then I'd actually work to get higher, improve as well. And it was like this the whole time. So we actually utilised each other's ability to improve our own stuff. So we never competed against anybody else. We just competed against each other.
That's nice, yeah.
Or
yourself,
yourself,
even.
yes.
Yes,
And I have
like
done
that.
that as well. I competed against myself and saying, okay. But we used to go out and say, right, okay, we would walk into a room and think, okay, we're going to be 4th. Let's see how many points we can steal from the other person. So we were just constantly improving.
So you were aligning. So what they say is like a love connection is not about two people like staring lovingly at each other, but actually two people looking in the same direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
You are able to, and I know with my kids as well, they feel very comfortable with you. You just have this amazing ability to strike conversations and connect with any different culture, age group, gender, the range is so wide. What is your secret? And I want it on camera.
The secret is, again, I was a very shy child. And when I remember saying to my cousin, how do you start a conversation? And she said, ask a question. Mm-hmm. And she said, and when they answer the question, you then ask another question. So I said, lovely, okay. I said, but what happens if they just give you one word answer? She said, they're boring as fuck. Walk away.
Now, we've talked about female energy on the comedy circuit. There are females that you just never forget. Our headliner for tonight is fabulous PAM.
Hello, everyone. So good to be here. I don't know where I am. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Come and roll at my head just for you. Anyway, let me address something that everyone asks me about, is my strange accent. Now, this accent is from Birmingham, England. No, it's not. I was born in Birmingham, England, and my mum and dad were 10-pound poms that emigrated to Australia when I was 9 years old. And going to Melbourne, Australia when I was 9 years old with a broad Brummy accent didn't go down too well in primary school, I don't mind telling you. Within 3 weeks, I came home with this Aussie accent. My mother said, Pamela, what happened to you? I said, Mum, it's called survival. And let me tell you, I've had this accent ever since, and I've never been unemployed. Now, if I'd had a Brummy accent, I may never have had a job, would I? Anyway, I got a bit drunk in Australia, and I married an Australian man. I know it's my fault, stupid idiot. I've got to address my cast. Like, I had a fall and broke my wrist in 3 places, and I'm so annoyed because that's my banking hand. You see? So I don't want my mum to see this. She's going to go apeshit. Right. Anyway. But while I was married to the Australian man, I fell asleep twice. I've got 2 kids by him. That even hurt to do that. Oh my God. But yeah, anybody here got kids? Yeah. You've got a favourite. I've got a favourite, right? But I'm not allowed to say it because this is going to go live on air and the other one's going to kill me. Anyway. I was in labour so long with my first one, they had to shave me twice. Yeah, mum gets that there. She just spat a coffee out. That's all right. I was very brave when I had my kids. I had natural childbirth. No lipstick, no mascara. I divorced the Australian man, thank heavens above, and my friend said, Pammy, get over to England because English blokes are good in bed now. That is comedy, isn't it? People around the world, if you don't know, Englishmen are known for leaving their socks on. Oh. They do! You can imagine my shock my first time that I managed to get a bloke home and he's standing there at the foot of the bed and he's naked. I've got my matching lingerie on, from Primani, looking really fantastic. £2.95, right? Mm-hmm. And he's got stripped off, but he's got the socks on his feet. And I'm looking at him thinking, does he think he's covering up the ugly part? I had an idea for Dragon's Den. Men's socks in packs of 3. Mate, you need another sock. I moved over here with the kids. The kids were sort of 7 and 10 years of age. I took them to a village. We live in a village down in Kent near Seven Oaks. It's only got 3 oaks because 4 got blown over. But it's true. And I took them to the local village school and I met the headmistress, Miss Humphreys, and said, hi, Miss Humphreys, these are my kids, the boy and the girl, and that one's my favourite. I'm not too keen on the other one. Just had him for spare parts, to be honest, because I do like a minimum drink. I'm going to need that liver one of these days. I will. I said, now look at their faces, Miss Humphreys, look at them. I said, look at their faces. They are not academic kids. You can tell just by looking at the faces. I said, and they're not actually creative or artistic either. I said, do not be sending these children home with any homemade crap on Mother's Day. That's all I'm asking you, woman. Well, the Friday before Mother's Day happens and they come skipping in the front door and said, Mum, we've made something for you for Mother's Day. I'm like, oh, my crap. I warned that bitch down to school. They said, Mum, we spent 4 afternoons making this for you. I thought, well, it better be an espresso machine. And they proudly presented me with... Don't you this. Look at my ensemble. I'm a glamour puss. I'm a diva, darling. Do you think I want to wear jewellery made of bloody pasta? Come off it. Oh, my God. I marched down that school and caused a freaking riot, let me tell you. But my kids are grown up now. And they're taller than me and bigger than me and always in one. And this year they did really good. My son bought me a Black & Decker makeup remover. It exfoliates and everything. The other one bought me an ironing board cover. Exactly. An ironing board cover. Now listen, I don't like ironing. I don't know many women that do. That ones that do need to go into therapy. I used to iron once every 2 years when I'm going to a gay wedding, and I'm in the gay boys' wedding, right? They want you ironed or they won't let you in the photos. They won't. The times I've had to stand behind a frigging tree because they won't let me be in the photos because I've got a wrinkle somewhere, right? Straights couldn't give a shit, right? As long as you get a £100 voucher for John Lewis's, they don't mind, right? She bought me an ironing board cover and I did the resting bee face and she's gone, Mum, calm down. She got the ironing board out of the kitchen and said, come and help me stretch it over the board. So I did. And then my face changed. It's got a young man on it with a six-pack. And he's got a towel covering his bits. And when you iron... when you iron, the towel disappears. Yes! Now everybody wants one. I've got to get that as my merchandise now. Everybody wants one. Do you know I'm ironing 7 nights a week? Yeah, I've been single for 7 years, right? But I've ironed the towel right off him. Now, I'm also, if you haven't noticed, I'm a woman of a certain age and I have the hot flashes and I'm going through the menopause. When I go to a gig, I have to apologise to the front row because I explain to them they're in the splash zone. They're going to think they're in SeaWorld. That's why I need more merchandise, little ponchos, Pam's thing. Yeah. But if you don't know what the menopause is like, my daughter said to me, Mum, is it worse than PMS? I said, you silly cow. I said, PMS is 3 days of the month when you get the crankies. I've got this 31 days of the month, even in a February with 28 days. I found a good lawyer. I can get away with murder if I kill somebody during my menopause. I got the flushes. I get the brain fog. Oh, my God, I get the brain fog. Do you know, I put my own PIN number in the microwave. Nothing survives my PIN number, not even a jacket potato. That's a big number, isn't it? Now, my mum said, Pammy, don't be taking the HRT. I said, why not? It's supposed to be a wonder drug. She says, no, when I took it, I was 2 weeks into taking it, and then I got this lump on my thigh there, a lump on my thigh. She said, I had a DVD on my leg. I said, Mum, it's not DVD. That's like a Blu-ray or, the Titanic or something. No, you mean DVT, deep vein thrombosis. She said, you know what I mean. When I had this done, she said, I told my friend you've got Titanic in your wrist. That's all I bloody need, isn't it? Celine Dion singing at me friggin' wrist, for Christ. I can pick up 4GG radio when I hold it up there like that, on me coil. Anyway, young people don't know what a coil is. So anyway, my doctor said, look, Pam, that was years ago. We'll try you on a new one now. And 2 weeks in taking me new low-dose HRT, I pulled on my leggings to go for a jog. I go jogging with these. It's a miracle, isn't it? And it's like my airbags are going off in there. And I felt this lump on my leg, on my thigh here, and I thought, I've got a DVD on my legs. Mum warned me. So I rolled down my leggings to have a look at it. It was a Malteser. Calm down, it hadn't melted. Yes, I ate it. Don't judge me.
What is it like to compete? I mean, I wouldn't
Well,
know.
I don't compete with them. I just do my thing. I think being a pub landlady for 10 years down there in Kent near Sevenoaks, It was a male-dominated clientele that I had in there. And because I was born in the Midlands and my dad has a brilliant sense of humour, all the guys in the pub had a proper pub British sense of humour. And they used to tease me and take the mickey out of me and tell me filthy jokes and all sorts of things. And when I started doing comedy, they couldn't believe it. And when I got my first paid 10 at the Comedy Store in London, 6 of them came to see me. Ooh. And I'm doing my set all about the blokes in my pub, you know, Fat Derek and Roger the Bank and all this. And one of them was in the audience. He's laughing away, not realising I'm talking about him. And the other 5 were loving it. And when they came backstage, they went, he didn't even know it's about him. And I went, what the fuck? Oh, my God, I meant to change the name. And they went, no, he's just sitting there laughing his head off. He doesn't even know it's him. I went, oh, thick as anything. But by having the guys in the pub who were very honest and very in your face, whenever I do a gig and there are hecklers, it's like, bring it on, darling. You do not know. I've been divorced twice and I've had my heart broken 7 times. Don't even go there. I'm ready for it. So, no, it's funny because some people who work in pubs or a lot of teachers turn into comedy because they're used to the kids being unruly and controlling them. Yes. Yeah. So, no, I think the guys in the pub actually gave me my confidence and how to handle it all. But as in competition on the circuit, as you know, we have a couple of different sites that we apply for gigs, and some of the guys are getting a bit annoyed now. So because their adverts say female presenting comedian wanted for a gig, because punters, the audience, are getting sick of having 4 men on the bill and not a woman. So really, it's nice to have 3 boys and 1 girl, but why not 2 boys and 2 girls? It doesn't matter. But it's up to the audience, because we still have it, and it's 2024 now, if you don't know, we still have it where you go to a gig, whether it be a football club, a rugby club, or a comedy club, and some blokes in the audience will go, oh, it's a woman now. Should we go to the loo now, or should we go to the bar now? Yes, it still happens. And then I'll be at the bar afterwards or whatever, or with my bag about to leave, and they go, I didn't think you'd be funny, but you were funny for a woman. Oh. And I want to say something, but I go, oh, thank you very much. But I must admit, when I first started, I was very much, that women loved me because I used to be a bit of a man basher. But then I realised that I was losing 50% of the audience because the men were going, what a bitch, you know. And so now I have the men on side. And the best thing that ever happened to me, which I now, oh, this is so good. I was doing a gig in a lovely theatre somewhere up Norfolk, like... King's Lynn, is that what it's called? King's Lynn,
yeah.
And it was a theatre where the stage was here and the seats went up, which is what we call raked seating. So they're all, ugh. And I was on there and I went, and I did a bit, and I got them all, I got one with a few gags, and then I went, is anyone here suffering with the menopause? And a handful of men went, yeah! And the place roared, and I was taken aback, and I went, oh my God! And then you heard, when they'd done the yay, then you heard, where their wives had elbowed them in the guts, you know. So what I do now, sometimes when I go to gigs somewhere, and I usually am in jeans and a T-shirt when I'm hovering around to see what sort of the demographics like, what the age group's like. And I'll find some men at a table, and I go, oh, hello, I'm Pam, I'm on tonight. And they go, oh, don't pick on us. I said, no, I want you to do me a favour. When I say this line, is anyone here suffering the menopause? I need you 5 guys to, in a deep voice, go, yeah. And they went, yeah, we'll do that, yeah. So when they do it, the whole audience roars again. And the wives are going, what the heck? And then, you know, but it's great to have that little bit in my pocket, which happened naturally at a gig.
Yes,
that's nice. Wonderful. I want to tell you about what happened to me, because this has really affected. We talk about mental health on this show sometimes, and this I've had, as I say, divorces, broken hearts, 2 awful childbirths. This has traumatised me more than anything I've ever been through in my life. I slipped on a wet floor at a place of employment, and slipped on a wet floor where they did not have the sign.
Oh no!
And when I went down, I heard the snap. And I've broken it in 3 places, and I've got a metal plate in there, as my mum says, made of Titanic, and about 6 screws. Oh, and I had to wait 2.5 days before they could operate because of NHS was so busy and everything, and they had to do more important things. Fair enough. And anyway, my thing is I live alone, and I'm fiercely independent, and I have 3 entertainment type jobs. I'm a stand-up comedian. I work in Age UK doing seated exercises, and I do activities and entertainments with seniors in care homes, which I adore and I love. I love it, I love it, love it, love it, love it, because I can do that in the day and then I can go off and do my gigs at night. But when this happened at 1:30 on a Saturday, I was supposed to finish work at 3 o'clock and jump in my car and get over to Bristol for 2 gigs in one night, which as a comedian do 2 gigs in one night, it's double bubble, it's really good.
Yes.
But as soon as the
Your
break
main
happened,
earning night, yeah.
I'm like, I was on the floor, I could not move.
Oh, tell me.
And I knew I couldn't get to this gig. So I'm on the floor with my mobile phone, ringing my bestie going, you've got to ring up. He's going, what? And I said, you've got to tell Bristol I can't make it. He said, what are you talking? I said, just listen to me. But what has affected me, I'm so fiercely independent. I live alone. I'm the person with the car that drives everybody else around and runs errands for everybody else and whatever. And when this happened, I think I was in shock, you know. I think I was in probably PTSD or something, because I couldn't do anything. Do you know, I had to employ someone to come and help me shower because I couldn't shower. I couldn't open the top of the milk. I bought microwave meals and then realised I couldn't open them. And I just felt so helpless and vulnerable and useless. And this has actually physically and mentally made me slow down. And if one more person says it could have been worse, I'm going to fucking nut them.
Yes,
because
and rightly so, yes, yeah.
This has been a challenge for me. And this is only 3 weeks in, so I've got 3 more weeks with this on and then a few weeks of physio. But not being able to drive my car is the most frustrating thing, because I need it for all of my jobs. I need it for all of my work. So everyone says this is going to go on my next Edinburgh show, probably. My Titanic wrist. It's made me look at life in a different way, and life's too short, and this is just a little bit of a setback, but at the time I thought it was the end of the world. And this is my first outing since the accident, and I'm so glad to be here.
Yes, yay! Oh, we love it so much. But, you know, what about when people say everything happens for a reason? So you've had to slow right down and you've had to actually feel this and go through this. What have you learned? Because you are so powerful. You can do it all. You're like Superwoman.
Okay. But what's the point of being Superwoman if I'm always rushing from here to there and doing 3 jobs and just treading water to just pay the bills? No luxuries, just pay the bills. I wouldn't mind working really hard 3 jobs if I could have a holiday once a year, or I could get my nails done, or, you know, something like that. But it's just, and everyone's saying it's going to be worse with this cost of living crisis, and I do believe it really is. It really, really is. So I will be slowing down. I'll be more selective on the work that I choose, and if it's emotionally worth it and financially worth it to drive 120 miles for 20 quid or whatever and all this sort of shit. But unfortunately, the 2 gigs in Bristol were going to be quite a turning point for me, and I didn't make it on the day because I was in the Whittington Hospital. But it was a very, very, very good hospital, Whittington. It's at Archway, and they looked after me superbly there, but I was a blithering. I just was wanting them to have a camera on me. Like, you know that show they do at 24 Hours in A&E? Why wasn't it on that Whittington ward where I was? You know, I would have put my lips on and everything, you know. And I tried not to swear, but the doctor was so gorgeous. And, anyway, so
was he younger?
Of course he was.
Because we also call you Cougar Pam.
Oh yes, pardon me.
So
now,
that's a final point.
I've got to think of a new name, because Cougar Pammy means that I'm predatory on men, but actually I am out. And they approached me.
That's right.
It's true. You've seen it.
People never thought about that.
There's got to be another one. I've just been standing there and I go, I'll come up and go, hello. And I go, what? And they go, I think you're lovely. I go, I am lovely. Go away. I've got stuff in my freezer older than you. You know? They come up to me. And my daughter saw it once and she went, I can't believe it. So I told you, it's not me going for them. They come at me.
That's right. Yes, yeah.
So is that called a honey trap? What's that called?
I'm loving it.
I've got to think of a new name for that, because I'm not a cougar. They come to me.
That's right. We'll invent a new term for that.
Gordy, thank you for inviting me up here.
You are fabulous. I love you, darling.
I love you,
actually, I hate to say this, but you are the second lady with the broken wrist here, you know. So, yes. So, And she did the solo show, so we hope you come back.
There you
and
go.
do the solo
I would
show.
love to. I would love
Your
to.
preview, Edinburgh.
I would
preview.
love to.
Promise.
Promise. It's called Spam. Not the junk mail you get, but the pink meat in a square tin. It's called Spam Ford, and I'll be at Edinburgh for the whole month. Come up and see me there, and this will be better by then, and I'll be able to shake hands properly, or you can kiss my ring.
And finally, our celebrity guest is one of the most remarkable visual artists around. Actually, I will go as far as to say in the British history, because one of her works is even in that important building. It's Gillian Burrows! Yay! So, for the first time on the Skits and Quibbles, we have a visual artist, because so far it's been all performing arts. It's all been about, physicality, dance, comedy, character, mime even. and now we have, and we also have another little character. Meet Evie, the dog. Aww. Our first dog guest in the studio.
Aww. That's right.
And Evie's kahu, which in Hawaiian means the keeper of animal soul. So actually take care of the animal soul, because we don't like to be called owners of dogs. You don't own them. In fact, it's the other way around. Evie owns you, really.
Yes, she does.
She does. Loving it. So Gillian Burrows is an amazing British artist who uses the most incredible, I call her Happy Gilly, in terms of the colours that you use.
Thank you.
So we have Gillian Burrows paintings, from what I know, internationally, because people have commissioned them in various countries, from Slovenia, America, Canada. There is a painting in one well-known bank in, I think it's the bank, investment bank, yes, in the city of London, where the money is, and I hope they paid you lots of money. And you have one painting in the House of Lords.
Yes, that's right. Emmeline Pankhurst. A watercolour that I did. I was asked by one of the people there to do it.
Amazing!
And it's still there.
It's still there!
Yes.
Gorgeous. Well, they have a very good taste. They have a very good taste. And I hope they paid you lots of money.
No, not really.
Not
But
really.
I don't mind.
You don't mind it?
No, that's fine. It was a good thing to do.
Yes, amazing, amazing. So where do you get your inspiration? So am I allowed to, for example, show this is, what would be the technique you use for one of these, for example?
Well, this is with oil. I love doing all the different colours and make it atmospheric.
It's gorgeous, gorgeous. Where do your inspirations for colours come from?
I suppose I put colours together, but they, they're different. So I think that's good, because it it puts on a bit of mystic rather than very solid things.
Now, one of my favourites. Are we going to have this as a print soon?
Yes, this is all about the Queen.
This is about
the Queen. And this is what I've done. Here she is on here.
the Queen Elizabeth II. Yes. Oh, we've got to have this close up. There we go. I'm going to bring it close up there. Yes.
And it was a horrible day.
Yes.
And all the water was running off all our work and everything. But we finally got it all done. I still find it quite difficult trying to get all the words together. But it's getting better.
It is getting wonderful, wonderful. What happened? Would you mind telling us? Did you have like a temporary memory loss or something?
Yes, I had a big memory loss, and it was really difficult to find the words.
which happen to so many people, and I've met so many people.
That it happened to.
Yes, and it's really sad. And they've said what I've got, but I'm going to really work hard and try and.
Wonderful. And what do you think contributed towards that? Is it?
I think that I think that it might have been the. What are the things that it's when we all had to have the
Vaccinations,
injections.
injections. There were a few people that actually had, unfortunately, reactions to things, and so so that was the side effect of after
I think
you
so.
actually.
Yes.
This one.
Well,
talk us through this one.
Yes, you turn it round.
Oh, I have to
That
turn
way.
it the right
That's
way.
right.
So this is it. Yes.
It
Talk
was
us through this one.
Yes, this was actually a menu on the other side.
Oh my gosh! Check it out. So, what did the restaurant actually order this? There we go. Oh, amazing! So
Yes,
they commissioned it.
Yes, they did.
It's a seafood restaurant on the wharf. We've been there. I think
Yes.
we've been there. Amazing.
That's the Marriott Hotel.
And you and I danced
Oh, we did.
to that tune. We did. And we did Paso Doble as well.
Yes.
You pretended to be a bull and I
Yes.
was the matador.
That's right.
Loving it. Well, finally, what would be your advice to anybody who is a creative soul out there? How to be the best that they can be? What is your kind of advice? To feel, be authentic to themselves, or just create whatever,
Yes.
something out of nothing every day?
Don't give up, and just we may have our bad days, but on the whole, we've got to really work at ourselves to being really positive and lovely things, you know.
Yeah, do lovely things. Create, create, create.
Yes.
Darlings, so tonight we saw Darren Griffiths, we had Gillian Cook, yay! Pam Ford, our headliner, yay! And our fabulous celebrity guest, Gillian Burrows, yay! And I've been your host, Gordana Muti.